Welcome to Alberta Conservation Association's Harvest Your Own podcast, the resource for everything hunting, navigating through the field, the butcher shop, and the kitchen. Life is all about great food. Let's get started.
Welcome to the podcast. I'm your host, Brad Fenson, an avid outdoor enthusiast who has worked as a freelance journalist, photographer, and public speaker for over 3 decades. I have hunted, fished, and foraged all my life and hope to share my passion for the outdoors. Along the way, I want to encourage everyone to harvest wild proteins and enjoy the satisfaction of providing the next meal for your family. Our goal is to educate, entertain, and inspire individuals to get outdoors and create a connection between food, health, and your future meals. Welcome to Harvest Your Own. Today we have a special guest with a little bit of history with Harvest Your Own. We go back, it's 6 years to episode number 2. Can you believe we've been doing this 6 years? Welcome, Lisa Roper.
Thank you, Brad. I cannot believe it's been 6 years.
Right?
I can't. Where did the time go?
Well, the time went into work and fun and passion and commitment, sort of like our angling lives. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and there's a very good reason I have you here today, and that's because we're announcing that Harvest Your Own is also going to be covering fishing now.
Yes, congratulations. That is so great.
It started because the hunting community needed some specific information, and we needed to encourage more people to get out, and women and youth, and a whole bunch of different things that were identified. Well, I think you know that Alberta has the quickest growing hunting population, and the largest segment of that is women and youth.
Yes.
So, there's things to celebrate in Alberta. We have great diversity, we have great opportunity, and people are stepping up to take advantage of it and realizing that, hey, this is changing my life.
Absolutely. And isn't that incredible that, women and youth are so strong in Alberta and coming up so fast.
Right.
And really making that difference. And it's the whole circle, the whole thing from hunting, harvesting, to your plate, to sharing it with your family and traditions. And that's just volumes.
Yeah. For me, it's hard to put my finger on it, but it's a cultural change even within families. It wasn't too many generations ago. Dads and grandpas took sons out, nowadays, like I have 2 girls, I wouldn't think of going out without them, and they would be crushed if I went without them. And going back 6 years, we talked about the influence of your dad in your hunting and stuff. Mm-hmm. He had to have played a major role in taking you on fishing as well.
Oh, he did. Yeah. I mean, because we didn't necessarily live right close to a lake, hunting was kind of the first thing. And I think in a lot of families it probably is with regards to, squirrel hunting or rabbit or, all the things. But yeah, we spent a lot of hours out on Sharon Lake and catching, monster perch at the time. It was especially ice fishing. And yeah, to just, wherever we went camping, it was on a lake that had fish, and away we would go, or, find somebody in the campground that had a boat, and it's like, hey, do you mind taking us? Like, yeah, we did what we could to get out there and make those memories. And yeah, I can't imagine, I really can't. And, I know it's getting to be more and more common with regards to dads taking out their daughters, grandpa taking out granddaughters, but I still, I just want to compliment the men that are doing this, because there's still some that aren't or don't feel like, that's the right place or whatever. And so for those that are doing it, keep going, because It's so important. You see it yourself with your daughters and and not only what it does for you, but the relationship you're building with them, the trust, the respect, the whole thing. And then, man, when they grow up, wow, they're going to be such phenomenal hunters and anglers. I just can't even, it might be a little intimidating to their husbands, but it's pretty great.
Yeah. But they can teach them.
Yes.
There's no stereotypes anymore.
No.
And that's the best part is more moms are taking their kids out. Yep. I've interviewed a number of ladies that put the kid in the backpack and head out and do whatever it is they want to enjoy in life. And, no looking back. No looking for permission from somebody. You don't need it.
Yeah.
You just need to go fulfill your own dreams.
Oh, that's a lot.
Right.
That's a whole big title right there.
Yes. Fulfill your dreams. Speaking of which, 6 years ago, I remember discussing with you about starting a show and getting more involved and having positive influence and messages. Well, Lisa Roper Outdoors is now, it's been a thing for a while, but television, you're going into year 5.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Tell us a little bit about your show. What's your goal with Lisa Roper Outdoors? Is it for you to get out and fish as much as possible?
Well, obviously there's a part to that. I mean, because I love it so much, right? So of course I want to be out there and I want to fish these incredible fisheries I would only have dreamt of, but meet people as well. And people are so important to me. I learned that from my dad. And, when I started Lisa Roper Outdoors, the TV show, I wanted to do something different. There's a lot of amazing fishing shows out there. But I wanted more. I wanted more layers, more depth, more understanding. And, we all love catching big fish. I love catching big fish.
Oh, yeah.
Like, my goodness, right? The heartbeat, the adrenaline, all of it. But fishing is more than that. And, you start bringing in culture and community and connection and people and, And so in this show, I was like, okay, well, sure, if I go to this fishery, what else is there? Because I don't just want to bring the angler to the area, right? I want to bring the whole family or friends or extend, because there's other things to showcase. So that was really important to me, obviously, is bringing in communities, bringing in lodges. But what else do you have out here? Do you have amazing walking trails? Do you have the scenery that you can only ever imagine? Like, you kind of go out there and you're like, how am I in, let's say, northern Saskatchewan? Because I don't even feel like I'm in Canada right now. But I wouldn't know that if I was just only focused on fishing. Right. And so I love to tell a story. I think telling a story is so beautiful and personal and can be emotional organically in all the right ways. And I love when people resonate with it. Tell you a quick story. I did an episode with my daughter, and we did it on Lac La Biche Lake, and we kind of wanted to show people, they have the farmers market, and so you can eat organic and do these great things. And so I wanted to remind people that when we ask someone to come join us on something, that their lives are busy and there's a lot going on, and it's not just an instant yes. There's gratitude to that yes. And I'm going to tear up here, but I felt so much gratitude because she said yes. And she came, even though she had 2 kids, very young, and life is busy, and she spent the day with me fishing. And so I wanted to surprise her. She loves to cook. And so I thought, okay, how can I, give back to her on this day? And so I went to the farmer's market, bought all these ingredients, surprised her. She had no idea. Put it all in a bag in the front of the boat.
Surprise, you're making dinner.
And then we did a shore lunch. So we had this incredible day, and then shore lunch, and she made it, and it was beautiful. And I had a Army sergeant reach out, and he said, wow, thank you so much. I just watched your episode, and I was trying to figure out what to do with my daughter before I'm deployed again. And this moved me to take her fishing and do a shore lunch. Yeah,
it extends things way beyond fishing. And that society is so busy. I say this all the time. It's gotten so busy that we can't stop to see the trees beside us, or, life beside us, the important things. Racing to make your next dollar is not the most important thing. It's not. Some people won't figure that out until the end of this wonderful journey that we call life. Mm-hmm. But if you can figure it out before then, what a difference, and we love fishing, but my girls love it when we rent a shack on the ice overnight and can stay overnight, or we stay in the local town and go to a hotel that has a water slide and go to some crazy named restaurant that has food you might not have heard of. And it is part of the ride.
It is part of the ride and part of the journey and the whole experience. And, not every fishing trip do you remember the fish. Right. And sometimes we have to be reminded about that. Even myself, there's been times where I can't even tell you how many fish I caught or what I caught because other things happened. I had this incredible connection with, say the lodge owners or their families or their kids, and maybe got to go on a boat with them and watch something incredible happen, right? And I mean, that means more to me. That's pretty cool stuff.
It is. When you say you don't remember the fish, I'm going to change that a little bit. I don't remember mine. But I remember my kids.
Oh, yeah.
And I remember when they catch a big fish and the excitement. Kids learn by doing. Yeah. Don't step in. Let them. Yeah. Let them embrace it. Let them do what they want. Right. I take the girls fishing, and one's reeling in a fish, the other one's grabbing the net, and The only time I have to intervene is if the fish's so big that they can't lift it over the gunnels of the boat, which
that's
is
pretty great.
That is a great moment.
That is a great moment.
Yeah, so those ones stick with me. And we've had a few trips where they caught lots of big fish after fish, and they've learned how to feel the bite or watch the bobber and set the hook and let the fish run when the drag is talking to them. And, it's pretty keen. It's pretty interesting to see, even at a young age, at 4 and 5, they were doing that. But, I'm a bit of a geek. I had them casting in the driveway with ice fishing rods when they were 2, and they loved it. So we had the rubber stoppers that come with the rods, and they were always out playing fishing, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. And I mean, those are the moments when it's not just about fishing when you get either on the lake or in the boat or on the ice. It's all the stuff that leads up to it, right? Getting them excited about the gear, talking to them about what gear is and showing them, casting ice fishing rods in the middle of summer. Like that's all excitement that just builds to like, let's go.
Right. And the nice thing about your messaging and your shows is you talk through everything that you do. And we take it for granted, people like you and I, that everyone has the basics.
Right.
But there are so many people that don't have the first clue of what to do, yet they see what you're doing and they want to live part of that dream. And I learned that years ago. I wrote a story about ice fishing for perch and the hooks you use and how you fish it at the bottom and you do this, and had a reader write the editor and say, that's great information, but how does he jig the hook? How does he move it? And it's like, oh man, I got to take another step back. You got to lift it or drop it, or, is it 4 inches? Is it 6 inches? Are you ripping it hard? Are you doing it gentle?
Yep.
Those are all important information. It's all important information for being successful. Yep. And you learn that through experience on the water or on the ice. But when we're sharing things with people and getting them encouraged to get outdoors, it's nice to talk about what kind of rod you need and why you use a certain line and why you have this hook and all the rest of it. So, keep doing your messaging, make the show all inclusive, because, viewers, whether they're seasoned anglers or newbies, everyone's getting something from it.
Oh, thank you. That means a lot. You don't always know if it's resonating that way. And, so it's great. And especially to hear it from you, Brad, because I respect you and your opinion so much. So thank you.
Yeah. Well, I've watched it for it ever since that letter to the editor. It's like, it's hard, but you got to always step back and look at who's reading, who's watching, who's listening, that needs to start at square one.
Yep.
And what a privilege to be able to help them from square one.
Oh, isn't it beautiful?
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty incredible to have influence on people where you can get them outdoors to enhance their life.
Oh,
and that's what the great outdoors is. It's not just another place to spend your money and different things, but it's the quality that people are looking for in life. Mm-hmm. It's that slower, I'm getting a little bit old, but in the old days, we used to sit down as a family and watch a show every Sunday night and have dinner.
Yep.
Somehow that disappeared over the years. So how do we add those special moments back in?
Mm-hmm.
And it's those outdoor experiences that do it for our family.
Yeah, ours too. And the amount of people that I have had the absolute pleasure of meeting in the past 5 years, and the amount of them that have said to me the outdoors has saved their lives or
Absolutely.
saved them,
yes,
either mentally or emotionally or even physically.
Right.
And I'm wowed by that. I mean, I too understand that, right? The depth of that, but to have complete strangers walk up to you and share that, or share, they get intimate in the sense of really tell you that story. It's wow. There's no greater compliment, right? You're trusting me with that.
Absolutely. And there's no greater privilege than to be able to share our knowledge and excitement and all the rest of it. People ask me about what I do, and I say I live a blessed life, because how could you ever dream of having a career like this?
Never.
So don't take it for granted. Don't be selfish. Like the best gift you can give back is to share it with people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
This podcast is produced for Harvest Your Own, a program dedicated to those who want to reconnect with food and health through their experiences outdoors. HarvestYourOwn.ca is a resource for individuals to learn more about hunting and the outdoors. There's information to get you started and ensure that your compass stays pointed in the right direction to be successful. Where's your next meal coming from?
When you started your show, did you have specific objectives? Like the community messaging and the all-encompassing trips are wonderful, but where'd you start? Where are you taking things?
Well, I'll be honest, when I started was just, let's go fishing, right? Like I said, I knew I wanted to do it a little bit different, but let's go fishing, because you really don't know what you don't know. And so just getting out there, can I put myself out there? Holy, that's a whole lot. That's a whole chapter too.
Isn't it?
Yes. And then, do I know enough? Am I going to add value to people? I mean, all these things that, you kind of have some self-doubts and whatever. And never, ever have I said, oh, I'm, some great angler. I love to fish. And that's what I keep trying to show people, is I just love to fish. I have so much to learn. I learn stuff from my grandkids to, people older than me. It's a beautiful thing. I mean, when you're open and willing to learn and listen, there's a lot to still learn. And where is it going? Well, it's year 5. And I'm honestly, like, there's days I cannot believe that I'm here,
right.
that I've made it 5 years, because it's hard. It's not easy.
But the interesting part in your journey is, first episode, you just wanted to go fishing.
Yeah.
And now you want to tell a story. You want to create excitement. You want to tie in more adventure, more things to see, more things to enrich the experience, the life. You want to encourage people to bring family, bring somebody new. Like, you went from your passion of fishing for yourself to fishing for an entire community.
Yeah, beautifully said. Beautifully said. Yes, 100%. Like, I don't want it to just be about the fish. I 100%, the culture, the community, bringing people in, showing people, like, look at me, yes, I'm in this amazing area fishing for these incredible fish, but there's all this other cool stuff to see and do while you're here. And so it's not just bringing the angler. It is bringing the whole family or community or friends or whatever to an area to experience what I get to see and do. And it's just beautiful.
Well, using some fishing terminology, I'd say that your show has really helped you to blossom, and you rise to the occasion.
Ooh.
There's a trout reference for you.
Yeah, that's right.
But, it's funny because my girls are big fans of yours, as you know, and anywhere Lisa shows up, they're like, whoa, there's Lisa. So
it's beautiful.
We're looking at social media. You're all over Facebook, Instagram, different places like that. We see your truck going through town, but it's much more than that. You've stepped up to sit on different committees at government levels to ensure there's going to be fishing in the future. There's conservation. There's things. It's not like you got to live your dream of going fishing for yourself and then expand it to other things. You're using that influence to help everything, including the resource and the people interested.
Yeah. Thank you, Brad. Thank you for noticing. And thank you for saying that. It's so important. I mean, it's one thing to go out and, fish for yourself if you say it that way. But there's so much more. And I think from the time I was little, I always wanted to be a teacher in some aspect, not necessarily in a school, but I thrived in environments where I got to teach, whether I was like the captain of my sports teams or whatever, which is still, mentoring and teaching and all of those things. And I feel this so strongly about that with regards to the outdoors, and that, we have one life, we're living it, we're doing it, but there's so much more to give back. And I think I learned that lesson. I mean, there's been stages in my life where I've really heard the lesson loud. And I'm going to go back to probably the 6 years ago when we chatted. And, when my dad passed, it was sudden and all of that stuff I had to deal with and navigate through. And it was so hard. But when I sat down and I started writing down all the gifts he gave me, from personal gifts, right? Treat people with kindness and respect and, have integrity, to the outdoor gifts he gave me, how to walk out, from a hunt in the dark by yourself with nothing.
Right.
How to navigate a boat on the other side of the lake by yourself. And, I think all of that was my turning point of, how do I pay this forward? How do I help other women and youth or other people? I've had lots of men and young boys reach out and be like, hey, can you help me with this or that? And that means the most to me. That's my calling. I mean, doing the ladies only events, like the ice fishing events and the open water events, I mean, you're changing lives.
Yeah. And I like to tell people, I don't want to sort of set the tone of the conversation. And I always say, I do it for selfish reasons. I want the gratification of seeing other people do this and succeed at it and stuff, so it goes both ways. And a lot of times people don't realize that, it's, Lisa just gets to go fishing all the time, blah, blah, blah. We know that because in social media, you also get lots of negative people. There's people that you can't make happy no matter what you do. And you just got to turn that off or not read it or do other things and concentrate on the positive. But, let's look at it a selfish way. Let's do it to make ourselves feel good about everyone that we helped.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's a interesting way to do it, and probably not one I've said out loud, but I think deep down in your heart that it does feel good when you help someone. You just, maybe I just haven't said the words, but I mean, when you watch that person next to you bring up their first fish, particularly ice fishing, and, last week when I did my Ladies on Ice event, and the lady caught her first ever, never been on the ice, never held a rod, open water or ice fishing, caught her first fish. She cried, alligator tears.
I bet.
And I'm like, you're a, 35-year-old adult. That's incredible. And so, that made me feel so good to be able to, number one, know that by hosting these events, I'm on the right track. I'm doing something to help someone else. I'm doing something to give back. Yep.
Now we've alluded to them a little bit. Tell us about your women's only events, because they've grown substantially. I remember when you started the first one, looking for sponsors, doing different things. Now you got a waiting list.
Yeah. Yeah, it's incredible. I think first year, which was 5 years ago for my Ladies on Ice events, and I 20 or maybe 30 people, ladies showed up. And this year, or the last couple of years, we have over 100. We have a wait list, and we're usually sold out in a week and a half, 2 weeks tops.
You're right. Get in line quick or you're going to miss it.
Yeah, and it's beautiful. We've had women from across the U.S. Last year, we had 5 different U.S. participants. This year, so Florida and Louisiana, Texas, I can't even remember the rest, but yeah, it's incredible. And then across Canada too, we've had Ontario, Manitoba, Saskatchewan, Alberta. So it's not just, someone might look at an event, obviously we hold it on Lac La Biche Lake, and go, 100 people from the area. It's actually there's very few from the area. It's expanded so much.
Probably because the locals, most of them fish.
Well, probably,
or they've had influence. But anyone that hasn't, has the opportunity to do so.
Yeah.
But you get ladies from all over Alberta.
Yes, we do. Right down from Lethbridge all the way to Fort Mac. Yeah. And east-west borders. So,
and the ladies that helped or participated in early years are now coming back and volunteering to help with new.
Yes. Isn't that beautiful?
Right?
Isn't that beautiful? Yeah, my volunteer team is phenomenal. Obviously, you've put on events, you do things. You can't be successful if you don't have that incredible team beside you.
Right.
And I can't say enough about them. They're hardworking. Their passion for fishing and people, right? It's not just fishing, it's people too. And wanting to see them succeed, wanting to see the event succeed. It's unreal. And some of them we've had for 5 years, the volunteers. And like you said, others have, participated for 3 years, and then we've turned them into volunteers because it's working out.
With the volunteers, have you been able to expand how many people you can accommodate?
Yes. So we are now so let's back up a little bit. So I do 3 different events. Right. So I do the International Women's Day event, which is held on the Thursday. And so that's lead core driven. They invite all different women from lead core and all their different divisions to some of their clients. And then the Friday, we actually host a youth event, a female youth event. And this year we did the high school girls. Incredible. They, at first, because, you're high school, you're all cool. And then they just got into it, and they did everything just honestly, like a 6-year-old. They were building snowmans to catching fish.
Wow.
And, you just got to see these high school girls become girls again. Just have that fun, be crazy, be goofy. The laughter was incredible. And then we do the Saturday, Sunday event of over 100 ladies, almost 150 on the ice. So, it's incredible. And so our volunteer team now is 20.
Oh, wow.
20 women. But you need it, right? Because it's a lot that happens in the setup and takedown. And
well, the neat part is that you continue to grow this list of people that want to be part of it. But it's word of mouth too. People go back to the community and say, oh man, this was so wonderful. You've got to try it.
Yeah.
We see that at the Pheasant Festival too.
Yes.
I've had ladies come out that have never hunted.
Yep.
They showed up with a friend, not their husbands or their brothers or their dads, and they came and did things on their own. And they're like, we are going to do this again.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty sweet. And even, kind of trickling with that is, so last year I did my first annual Fishing Lines and Good Times for women in the summer. And so open water fishing. And we had, I think we had 14 ladies, and I'd say half of them were from some year of the Ladies on Ice event.
Oh, wow.
And so, that speaks volumes and compliments too, that they want to keep joining in on the adventures and knowing, at least I hope they're getting value out of coming.
Obviously, they wouldn't be coming back, but I think it's such a great strategy to get them in, get them hooked, and then have them come back to help mentor other people.
Yeah. Because
they get that gift right away, that selfish gift I was talking about, where you get some gratification for helping others.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This podcast was made possible by Alberta Conservation Association and the Harvest Your Own community. If you're interested in harvesting your own food, there's a comprehensive collection of information to gain insight and knowledge. Head to the field, harvest your own protein, prepare it, and taste the results. HarvestYourOwn.ca is a library of information from getting started and geared up to processing, butchering, and cooking wild game to make the connection between health and food.
I'd be remiss if I didn't say this, because I'm sure the listeners want to know, but do you have a couple fishing tips to make people better anglers?
Ooh. Well, okay, first of all, without getting right into the technical part, I think as an angler, the best thing you can do for yourself is to have fun and be creative. That has really helped me so much on days when I'm not catching, or days where I get stuck or just get in my head. I go back to the two basics. Lisa, are you having fun? Nope. Okay, we need to change this.
Right.
And why aren't you being creative? Like, why are you still stuck in this one spot, this one, let's say you're ice fishing, this one ice fishing hole? Get moving. Get doing something different.
Right.
And sometimes we just get stuck and we get in our heads and whatever. So that would be my first tip. And then from there, I've really had a lot of success and a lot of fun using rattle baits for walleye in particular. Yep. And whether I'm pitching those in the summer, which people are like, you're doing what? You pitch them out, you let it drop to bottom, see the slack, really rip it up, let it fall back down again. It's that flash, that vibration, the noise.
Yeah.
Just had such great success with that with walleye and ice fishing. I've posted stuff. I posted videos showing bringing the fish out of the hole with a rattle bait, and people are still like, no way you caught that. No, for real. And so, one more tip maybe with, especially ice fishing, I do here in Alberta, we can have two lines. And so I like to have a rattle bait, let's say on one line, but then just a small jig and minnow on the other. So rattle, flash, vibration, whatever you got to do, you make all this noise, especially if they're in a little bit more of a negative feeding pattern, because eventually you're going to upset them and kind of like, okay, I'm done with you.
Yeah, I'm annoyed.
Yeah, I'm annoyed. So they may take this, but most likely they're going to go for the smaller because they're not really in a feeding position. And so then they come and they take this one. And so I've had a lot of success playing around with that.
Yeah, you attract them to the edge and then have a slow bait where, I got up and had to move anyways. I may as well have a snack.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's interesting you say that, because over the years, I remember seeing you open up a tackle box and they're like, oh, Dad, I want to use that hook. And in your mind, you're like, oh, man, why did they pick that? I don't want them to use that. But, it's their choice. So you put it on. And of course, they throw it out and they start talking and it falls to the bottom. And you're giving them, hey, you got to keep your rod up. You got to do that. But guess who catches all the fish?
Yep.
Because they are thinking outside the box. They're not stuck in a pattern. They're not Dad that says you have to use this color and keep it so far out the bottom. They're all over the place. And that change up or that irregular type of fishing has results.
Well, and I would go back to kids, especially kids. They have this, I'm going to use this hook because I love the color and whatever, and they throw it out, but they're having fun, right? It's their movement. It's their body language. It's all of it. Whereas we're in our heads and we're just like, okay, I got to do this and I got to do that. And it's just like, yeah, you're not catching fish today.
Are you having fun?
Right. And I'm a big believer about energy. And if we bring negative energy to the outdoors with us, be it hunting or fishing, quite often I will see negative results.
Right.
Clear your head, clear your brain and your soul and just go. and allow the woods and the waters to teach you.
Yeah.
Okay, now you're getting somewhere.
Yeah.
Right? So,
right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, how true. I like the saying, are you having fun?
Yeah.
Because, sometimes we put too much pressure on ourselves to try to get people to be successful.
Yep.
But if they're having fun, does that matter?
Yeah.
And we especially see with the kids. And I don't have to worry too much about them not being successful because I showed you a picture on my phone.
Yep.
And it was an ice fishing shot from last year, end of the season, nice weather. The sun had set and both of them are standing there with a walleye in their hands. And I said, girls, I think it's time to go home. And they both started crying. They didn't want to go. That's when you have done it right. That's
when you know you're doing it right.
Yeah.
Right there. And what a proud and absolutely proud moment for mom and dad. Yeah. Right? To just be like, what have we created here? Yeah. I mean, how beautiful is that? And pure, just so pure. Right? There's no greater compliment.
So you have influence with the adult community, women from all over Alberta, Canada, and beyond is what we can say.
Yeah.
You've been doing some writing, lots of outreach. You're on these committees to help ensure everyone's got benefits into the future. We hope that you keep it up.
Thank you.
The problem is when you find success, you find you have less time.
Yes.
So I always say, be careful what you ask for.
You did. I think you said those words to me 6 years ago.
Yeah.
Really strong.
And you got to find that balance because you never want to give up the rewards in life, which are your family, your friends, your closeness, and your passion for what you really love. It's hunting and fishing. Make sure that your time slots are always there for it. And those are good messages for everyone that's listening and everyone that takes us on. But what do you have for advice for people that want to get strangers involved or even their family more involved or initiated into the outdoors so that they can be part of their passion?
I would say the big thing is to start small, right? So a lot of times when people go out and they're like, okay, I want to take my son or my daughter out hunting. And they're like, okay, we're going to sit in a tree stand all day and we're going to do this and we're going to do that, right? It starts at 2. It starts even before that, where you're taking them with you in the backpack. You're doing the simplest things like checking trail cameras, which are exciting because what's on there, and you play the game like, can you find the trail camera? That's the exciting stuff that allows them to eventually be full on. Okay, now I want to hunt. Now I want to stay longer. And fishing's the same way. I mean, starting them with casting games in the yard, and then how far, they get bored on the boat. Okay, can I last, I think about this with my grandkids. Can I last another 40 minutes with them? Okay, let's play a game. Who can cast the farthest? Who can do this? Who can do that? So it's really just, again, keeping the fun, keeping it exciting and active, and listening to the people that you're bringing in. It doesn't just have to be kids. It can be adults too. I mean, I've mentored, teenagers out hunting and fishing. And when you know, like they're done. So why are you still pushing it? Yep. Because this is just going to force them to turn it off. Be like, well, I don't want to ever do that again. Or you turn it off and you go do something fun or change the attitude of the day and then come back.
It's often hard to look at things from their perspective, but sometimes we get reminded. I do a lot of the things you said when I take my girls out on a deer hunt. We don't go for the day. I set it up so we're heading to the blind for the last hour of the day. We sneak in. We know we're only going to sit an hour.
Yeah.
They've got the patience to do that. They've got binoculars and all that stuff. Yep. We went last year and did that, and it was a muzzleloader season. And 10 minutes after sitting down, 2 does came by on the left side, and the girls were so excited, like, oh, Dad, you got to shoot one.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, well, we really don't need to shoot a doe.
Yeah.
It's more about this experience getting out and stuff.
Yeah.
And they disappeared into the trees before we could get lined up. And Addie says to me, my other daughter, she says, no problem, Dad. There's 3 more standing on this side.
Oh, look at that.
So I look over and there's 3 deer standing at 100 yards looking at us. And I said, do you think we really need another deer this year? And she said, then why did I come, Dad? If we're not going to shoot a deer, why am I even here? So I was like, oh my goodness, there's my wake up call. I said, you know what? We're going to try to get that deer. And I shot it. And the 2 of them were so excited about being along with Dad and having that success. They wanted to pull it back to the truck. They wanted to be part of the field dressing. They were part of all of it. And it was like minus 20 something. It was cold. Mm-hmm. Like it didn't faze them a bit. So it taught me a lesson too.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, are your girls going to remember if that was a 180-inch deer or no? They're not remembering that. No. They're remembering the excitement, the emotion, Dad shot, that instant adrenaline into their chest, the all of it.
Yeah, they are hooked
Yeah.
beyond words. Experiences like that have taught me that the learning lessons are much bigger than I ever anticipated.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'll share a little story. 8 years ago, probably 8 years ago, I took my son to a fly-in lodge. And so this was on an isolated lake, no one else on the lake, just him and I. And, prior to going there, I was doing all this research on my own, like, okay, where would the big pike be? Because it was all about catching this giant pike, and I got to get this big pike. And yeah, we get there, and my son is somewhat checked out. And I'm not understanding, right? We're catching these fish, and I'm just like, feeling frustrated because I had this plan.
Right.
Keyword there, I had this plan. And I think the second day, I said, why don't you sleep in? I'll go out this morning for an hour by myself. And it was because I needed it. I needed to reground myself and really kind of maybe talk to my dad. I don't know, just figure out some things. And when I got back, I woke him up and I said, okay, you're the captain today. He's like, what? I'm like, you're driving the boat. And I said, you get to pick the spots. And oh my gosh, Brad, the change in him, he went from way down here energy level to over the top and totally took control. And we got on fish. I mean, nothing, it didn't even matter. Like I'm saying, it wasn't big, but it was never about that. And I learned so much that day. And so when we got back, it went the whole day. And then we got back to the dock and he's like, hey, I'll tie up the boat and I'll start the fire. Do you want to start supper?
Wow.
And I'm like,
who are you?
My gosh, like what? But yeah, and it had so much more to do with just allowing him to figure out what he needed from this trip. I learned the most. I caught the biggest thing, that weekend, and it had nothing to do with the fish. Yeah. So, yeah. Yeah,
and that's the message we wanted to share today. The rewards in the outdoors and the people that we take out, their rewards. We have to see things from different points of view. Just share that passion. You know, it's I like to tell people, welcome to the addiction. Yeah,
it's an addiction, all right.
Yeah, and it's pretty easy to see as well. So where can people find out more about you?
Well, pretty much all social media platforms. So Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, all of it, Threads. It's Lisa Roper Outdoors. And of course, my TV show on Sportsman Channel Canada and the World Fishing Network is Lisa Roper Outdoors. Awesome.
Well, keep doing what you're doing. I like to say, keep doing Lisa, because obviously there's a lot of people appreciate it. Your women's events have become huge, and you're everywhere. Everywhere we look, there's Lisa, which means you're having an impact. Things are working. So
thanks, Brad.
Keep up the good work.
Appreciate that. That means so much.
Yeah. And thanks for coming out. We appreciate it.
Yeah. Well, thanks for having me. It's great to be back. And I congratulations to Harvest Your Own for taking fishing under the umbrella. And I look forward to listening in and learning more.
Absolutely. I think we might be having more talks in the future. So
I hope so.
Yeah. We hope to inspire people to reconnect with nature and appreciate where your food comes from by harvesting your own. For more information on getting started or to learn specifics about the Field to Fork experience, visit harvestyourown.ca and follow on Facebook and Instagram. Check back often for new material, recipes, and videos that are posted regularly. Please subscribe to Harvest Your Own podcast and take the time to rate and review the show to help us build a dedicated core of passionate hunters as our regular audience. Until next time, embrace the outdoors and all it has to offer. Thanks for joining us.